What did I miss? Brian here, and today we've got another firearm review. Today we are going to be doing an overview on the Sig P365 X Macro TacOps. Now before we get into it, we always want to make sure that the firearm is unloaded, mag is empty, and so is the chamber. This is the Sig P365 X Macro TacOps, and that is a mouthful to say. I'll go over the characteristics of this firearm in a bit, but for now, let's go ahead and cover everything that it comes with, and that is the hard case, 4 mags, a speed loader, a lock, and the owner's manual. And I highly recommend you read the owner's manual when you first get a firearm. Now I'm going to go ahead and move everything off to the side. Now, more about this firearm. This is the newest variant to the P365 lineup. As you may know, or as you may not know, there are several variations of the P365, and that is the regular, SAS, the X, XL, X Macro, and then there's this, which is the X Macro TacOps. This firearm belongs to a friend of mine, Christian. Some of you may know who he is, but for those who don't, he's a friend and a longtime supporter of my channel since the very beginning. He's even been in some of my earlier videos where I was doing car content. Now, he bought himself a Sig, and honestly, I could not be more proud of him, and now he's letting me do an overview on it. So, Christian, if you're watching this video, thank you very much for your help with this video, as well as my earlier videos. Your contribution will forever be appreciated. As I stated, this is bone stock. There are some things that look like they've been changed out or added on, but really, this firearm came from the factory like this. This model offers surprisingly a lot compared to the previous P365 models. Now, some things have stayed the same on this firearm, like the fact that it has a striker-fired mechanism, it has front and rear serrations, and it has night sights. Other than that, there are way more features that this model offers that the previous P365s don't. Right away, you can see the slide and the grip are longer, and it makes the whole firearm look a lot more proportional. Now, if we're looking at a regular P365, the slide will cut off about right here, and the grip would cut off right here to the point where my pinky finger will be floating. With this model, I can comfortably wrap all 3 fingers and get a firm grip. It's got Picatinny rails, which is pretty good because on the previous models, they didn't come with them, and you had to get a separate rail adapter if you wanted to add a flashlight or a laser. With this one, it already comes with it, so you don't have to worry about that. Looking at the slide, it has the plate on top with 2 screws, and this indicates that you could add a red dot, which is a nice touch. Now, depending on which red dot you get, you may have to change out the sights for taller ones as well. Now, onto the smaller things. Starting off, the trigger. This one has a flat trigger, whereas the previous P365 models have the curved triggers. This also has an extended slide lock. I believe the mag release is extended as well. I could be wrong, but I know this one's a little different compared to the previous models. This one also has a Magwell, which is a nice touch. The mag itself has an orange follower, and this mag holds 17 rounds, which is insane. And this is from Sig themselves. And if I turn the mag, you see it says Sig Sauer 9mm on the side, and it says Sig Sauer at the bottom. Kind of crazy how a little micro pistol like this can hold 17 rounds, which is insane. Now, what's interesting about this handgun is that it has 2 loaded chamber indicators, and I will flip it to the other side. One of them being on the side of the slide, which is common for most handguns, and the other one is on top. Similar to the P320, only difference is with the P320, it has a notch on top that sticks upward whenever there's a round in the chamber. With this one, it's an open hole, and when there's a round in the chamber, you just have to look down on it and you could literally see it down there. I'm not going to load it for obvious reasons, but just know that all you need to do is look down this hole to see if there's a round in the chamber or not. Another thing that's interesting, and this one is just a little wonky, not too wonky. Sig Sauer is German, but this handgun was made in Newington, New Hampshire, and the mag was made in the US. Only 2 locations are involved in the making of this handgun. It's not too crazy compared to like the Sig P320, for example, where there are 3 different locations involved. And lastly, I mentioned this earlier in the video, this Sig P365 X Macro TacOps comes with 4 mags, and each mag holds 17 rounds. That alone is insane because usually when you purchase a new handgun, you only get 2 mags or even 3 mags at most. If you ask me, that's a really good deal because knowing Sig, their mags are pretty expensive and you usually have to pay a high price tag for just 1 mag. So my thoughts and opinions on the Sig P365 X Macro TacOps, that's a lot to say, but for a first handgun, this is actually pretty nice. You already got the Picatinny rails so that you don't have to worry about getting a rail adapter. You already got the RMR cutout, so you could add a red dot. You got extensions and you got the full-size grip. The texture of the grip, it's a little bit rough, but not to where it's uncomfortable to hold in your hand. It's kind of like stippled or like sandpaper, for lack of better words, but it's just enough so that when your hands are sweating, you're not slipping. But overall, this feels pretty nice in your hands, and this is coming from a Glock owner. And on top of that, since this is a slim micro handgun, and that goes for both the slide and the grip, this is great for concealed carry. In fact, I'm going to get my Glock and make sure it's unloaded. And it is. I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison. So looking at the slides, you could tell that the Glock is significantly wider. And you can see it from the back as well. Now, when you look at the grips from the back, they look about the same. When you turn to them on their sides, you'll notice that the Glock grip is a lot wider. And on top of that, I also have the back strap on it, so it makes it even wider. And so that's all the characteristics and features of this P365 X Macro TacOps. Let's go ahead and take this out to the range. So there's quite a bit on what I want to say about this Sig. To start off, holding it in my hands is comfortable, but it took some time to get used to because I'm so used to shooting my own handgun, which is a Gen 5 Glock 19. Bit of an adjustment, but no big deal. Now, my shots were off center, and honestly, I wasn't expecting to be perfect with it, but at least I wanted to hit the middle of my target. Instead, I was hitting 7 o'clock from the middle, and it's most likely because I didn't have a good enough grip on it. However, the groupings were small and tight, which is pretty good. The recoil, very snappy, much like the Springfield Hellcat. However, it is a micro pistol and it's firing a 9mm round, so that's to be expected, like any other handgun. The shell ejection, not consistent at all. Shells were going all over the place. Usually with a normal handgun, there would be a straight path for all the spit shells to go, but for this one, they were going everywhere. I tried 3 different types of rounds. I tried Fiocchi, Federal, and Blazer, and shells were going everywhere. Not sure if this is a flaw for this particular model or if it's for all Sig P365s. But other than that, it fires nice. I'd have to do some more training with it to be able to hit the middle of my target. The recoil takes some time to get used to, but that's like with any other handgun. The extensions, like the extended slide lock, mag release, Magwell, they're all just really nice, and it's really easy to press down each one. All I can really say is for what you get, it's a really nice package deal. So enough about me, let's hear what Christian has to say.
You like it? You get better with it, but it's compact. I like the built-in night sights. The extended mag release is really nice. The grip is good. The full Magwell is super convenient. And the best part is it clicks really nice.
Oh yeah, that's loud.
It's loud. You know when it's in there.
That's good.
I love this gun. It's really good. Just need more practice with it, but definitely worth the money. Especially since it came with not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 mags.
And that's a hot deal.
That's a hot deal, man.
And so that is it for this video. This concludes the overview of the Sig P365 X Macro TacOps. If you're subscribed, thanks. If you're not, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Take care, everyone. I will catch you on the flip side.